If you've been waiting for the perfect time to finally put your health first, let me ask you, what if the first step isn't as complicated as you think? Healing doesn't have to start big, it just has to start. Welcome to Healing Beyond the Symptoms, the podcast that helps people discover the root causes of their health struggles and take back control with science, strategy, and self-awareness. I'm Dr. Leah Hahn, a chiropractor and functional wellness doctor who believes that true healing starts beneath the surface. So let's dive in. So many people tell me, I know I need to do something, but I don't even know where to begin. Maybe you've tried different diets and supplements and workouts, and maybe they just didn't stick. Maybe you've been in survival mode for so long that starting anything just feels overwhelming. And deep down, you wonder, what if I fail again? The truth is, beginning your healing journey doesn't mean doing everything at once. It means taking the next aligned step, one that your mind and your body and your spirit are ready for. One of the things I want you to realize is that healing isn't about fixing yourself. It's about reconnecting. Fixing implies that you're broken, that there's something wrong with you. Reconnecting is about finding your inner purpose. What makes you, you? What makes you unique? Why are you wanting to change or heal? That why is incredibly important. If it's because you just want to feel and look your best for a high school reunion and appear like you've got it all together, that's not going to be the why that creates the lasting change that you're looking for. If it's a why that means showing up for yourself in a new, healthier way, creating better boundaries, honoring yourself, creating more energy and vitality, there's a very different consciousness to that. That consciousness creates an energetic shift within the body that facilitates deeper levels of healing and change. So remember, you're not broken, you're patterned, and patterns can shift. Our life is all about programming. Your current patterning is running your programming. So much of our behavior is completely unconscious. In the book, The Power of Habit, they show that 40 to 45% of our daily behavior is just habit. And remember, if you think about this, if we're trying to create change, healing is not linear. Expect waves, not a straight line. Habits don't change overnight. You are always one step away from being right on track. I want to share a story of a client who put off care for months because she was waiting for the perfect time. She didn't want vacations to interrupt her progress. She thought she should start when work was less stressful, if there's ever that time. She wanted her kids to not be in season with sports. And the reality is that that's just not real life. There's never going to be the perfect time, but taking action creates the right time. After a few months, she decided to start care because she felt so off and so disconnected and shut down and depleted. Once she started, every small shift gave her the momentum she needed. When she was in a healing state, she started to make aligned decisions that facilitated her healing process. There were things like taking a walk at lunch instead of scrolling on her phone, choosing more vegetables and protein at each meal, which steadied her blood sugar, deciding to make bedtime a priority. And between the care and the small lifestyle changes that she was making, she created a foundation for incredible healing. Remember that there's always going to be a first step. And before the supplements and before all the new protocols that you could do, instead, what I'd like you to do is just start with awareness. In today's society, it's incredibly easy to lose awareness of how we feel emotionally, physically, even spiritually. So I'd like you to start with check-ins of how you're feeling and allow you to take stock of where you're at in that moment. What's working for you? What's not working for you? We work in our office with a lot of pilots, people that are traveling constantly for work, and nothing is ideal for them in terms of their schedule. So we have to adapt and we have to create an environment in which they can get in for the care that they need. Again, it doesn't look perfect, but once they start to get that nervous system-based care, it is amazing how the rest of their health starts to take a huge priority within their lives. They might start to exercise differently. They might start to take little meditation breaks whenever they can. It shifts their entire family's life. They show up in a new way. They show up to work in a new way. They start to create a more present life. They start to be aware of what they're actually doing and what they're actually thinking about. So these types of changes are never going to look perfect, but they can make massive shifts in terms of how someone is living their life. I want to get into a little bit more about habits. Many of you will be familiar with the book The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg or Atomic Habits by James Clear. They're both awesome books. But one of the things that they talk about is habit stacking. Maybe that first one is just drinking more water on a daily basis. I carry a water bottle with me wherever I go. It's a visual reminder. I also think about, gosh, by noon, I want to make sure I've had at least one of those large water bottles to drink. By 4 p.m., I hope I've finished another one. And hopefully by around 7 p.m., another one. So in that way, I can create another habit that's going to support my health and my well-being. Once I get that done and really start to get that foundational habit in, I might create another habit of every day after lunch, I take a small meditation break for 10 minutes. I make sure that at 12:30, instead of scrolling on my phone, I go to a quiet place and I put my headphones on and I listen to a guided meditation for 10 minutes. These small changes can make a massive shift in your life. That's the incredible power of habit. Whether it's starting your chiropractic care, whether it's starting to drink more water, whether it's creating a small stretching routine or your meditation routine after lunch, all of these changes are going to add up to shifting your life. It doesn't have to be big, it has to be one step forward. And remember, we're looking for those aligned steps, steps that support your health and well being to create those huge shifts that over a couple of weeks will make a massive difference. Before the supplements, before the protocols, start with awareness. In today's society, it's incredibly easy to lose awareness or to lose touch with how we feel physically, emotionally, or even spiritually. So I want you to start with check-ins of how you're feeling. Just take stock of where you're at in that moment. What's working for you? What's not working for you? Instead of asking in a judgmental tone, which is really easy to do, ask yourself with a curious tone. By checking in with curiosity, it allows your higher brain centers to stay engaged so you can listen to what your body's actually telling you. This process of slowing down and just listening to yourself allows you to start to trust yourself again and allows you to start listening to your body. If we get even more specific with that, I want you to ask, where do you feel stress in your body? Where do you feel most disconnected? And I want you to start to tap in. Again, we're learning to listen to our body. Place your hands on your body and breathe into the areas that feel connected and the areas that feel disconnected or stressed. That alone is going to activate the parasympathetic side of the nervous system to help you move into higher thinking, rest, digest, and healing. And we're going to take a quick break. This episode of Healing Beyond the Symptoms is sponsored by Body and Balance Wellness Center in Golden, Colorado. They know that real healing isn't about chasing symptoms. It's about uncovering the root cause of stress, tension, and imbalance. Their gentle nervous system-based care helps people release stored stress, reconnect to their bodies, and build resilience that lasts. If you've tried everything and still feel like something's missing, they may be the missing link. Learn more and book your consultation at bodyandbalancechiropractic.com. All right, and let's get back to the show. Remember that your nervous system gives you signals: fatigue, tightness, shallow breath, and those signals point to what's truly going on beneath the surface. I want to get a little bit more clinical with this. So you can pay attention to things like your morning resting heart rate. You can track that consistently. When you're stressed, is your heart rate elevated? Are you showing signs of adrenal fatigue? This can look like, again, persistent fatigue, feeling tired and exhausted even after getting an adequate night's sleep. Difficulty waking up in the morning, dealing with brain fog, feeling sluggish and unmotivated. Afternoon energy crashes where you're experiencing a drop in energy levels that maybe happen around the same time every afternoon. You could have salt and sugar cravings where you have an increased desire. You just crave salty chips or crackers or sugary foods. You might have mood changes, which look like irritability and anxiety and depression. Muscle weakness, where you just feel weak and tired, maybe lacking stamina. You could have low blood pressure consistently. We talked about brain fog, but it can even affect the immune system where you're having frequent infections, having a weakened immune system that causes you to get colds and flus more consistently than you'd ever like to. And then sleep disturbances, which can include insomnia, difficulty staying asleep or falling asleep. If you feel completely overwhelmed by stress, very sensitive to stress, feeling overwhelmed by even the most minor stresses, all of these signs tell me that the nervous system has been in a prolonged state of fight or flight, and it's affecting your hormones. We desperately need to clear the layers of stress and find routines that support regulating the nervous system. I want to give you a gentle exercise for you to practice and hopefully practice on a consistent basis. Pause and notice your breath right now. Are you holding it? When was the last time you took a deep breath? Is your breath shallow? That awareness alone is the first step. Remember that healing begins when the body feels safe, not when you push harder. We remember the fight, flight, freeze response. And there are daily practices that we can use to help our body clear this type of physiology from our system. Remember the 3-breath reset. Inhale through the nose, have a longer exhale through the mouth, multiple times per day. Set an alarm, use sticky notes on your computer, on your refrigerator, but make sure you're taking those 3 deep breath resets throughout the day. Every day, I take this a step further. Every day after lunch, I take a 15 to 20-minute deep breathing reset after lunch. It makes a huge difference in terms of my clarity, my energy level. I can feel my nervous system start to reset. It's how I regain energy every single day. So we can start off wherever you'd like. You can start off with a 3-breath reset, but I highly encourage you to spend more time doing that every single day and make it a habit. I would like you to start checking in with your posture in stressful moments. Sometimes when I get really stressed, I'll notice that I hunch my shoulders or I start to really lean forward and close off my chest. I want you to start to be aware of what's happening to you when you're stressed. Do you move a hip forward? Do you shift your posture into kind of a twisted way? Are you leaning forward like I do? Again, creating that awareness can really help us shift out of that. And our posture and our spine has so much to do with our emotional regulation and well being. I want you to give yourself permission to rest without guilt. Again, find specific parts of your day or routine. Set gentle sounding alarms as check in points throughout the day. Are you present to what you're doing? Or are your thoughts wandering from stressful thought to stressful thought? And can you implement something called present time consciousness? Science shows that we think approximately 60,000 thoughts every single day. 95% of those thoughts were the same thoughts that you thought yesterday. It has been shown that approximately 80% of those thoughts are negative. It's difficult to create positive thought processes or life changes, healing, peace, and quality of life when you're stuck in this cycle. But again, awareness is key. Can you become more aware of your thought processes? Again, present time consciousness. Present time consciousness is just slowing down and becoming aware of what you're doing at that time, what you're thinking about, and what you're feeling at that time. You can take moments of present time consciousness throughout the day to check in with your sensory environment. That can really help ground your nervous system. Think about, what do I smell? What do I hear? What do I feel? Bring your thoughts to that exact moment. That alone can create peace within the nervous system. The last thing I'd like you to think about for this week is to choose an affirmation to implement throughout the day. Examples of those affirmations could look like, I am healing. Each day, my body learns to thrive in a new way. You can create your own affirmation that supports your needs and your healing process and moves you in the direction that you want to shift. The nervous system can't shift into healing mode while in a constant state of fight or flight. So let's reframe it. Safety isn't a luxury, it's the foundation of transformation. In order for us to grow, to thrive, and to heal, we need the foundation of our mind body to feel safe. Healing is a series of small choices that add up over time. Examples include choosing connection over isolation. That means connecting with yourself, connecting with how you feel, connecting with those that you care about and that care about you. It's creating a bedtime rhythm instead of forcing more hours of sleep. It could be 5 minutes of meditation. It could be the deep breathing practices that we talked about. It could be connecting in with breath and letting go of unreleased tension. Explore body-based care like Network Spinal that addresses the root, not just the symptom. Network Spinal allows your mind and body to recognize your patterning so it can repattern and reorganize for higher level function and well-being. You don't need the whole roadmap to begin. You just need the first aligned step. As tactical takeaways for today, pause once today and check in with your breath and your posture. Notice one stress signal that your body is giving you. Notice where your thoughts go. Use some present time consciousness to check in with where you're at right now. Try an affirmation. Create one that is unique for you and make it a positive one. Ask yourself, what's one gentle step that I can take right now to support my body? And remember that healing begins with presence, not perfection. Thank you for joining me today on Healing Beyond the Symptoms. If you've been waiting for the right moment to begin, I want you to know that moment is now. Your body is ready. Healing doesn't have to be complicated, it just has to start. If you'd like daily reminders, gentle practices, and deeper insights to help your journey, come connect with me on Instagram. That's where I share simple, practical tools to help you stay grounded and supported every single day. And until next time, take a deep breath, listen in, and remember, you are ready. Thanks for spending this time with me today on Healing Beyond the Symptoms. If you've been ignoring your stress signals, I want you to know this. It's not too late. Your body is resilient, and with the right support, it can find its way back to balance. If you're ready to finally listen to what your body's been trying to tell you, I'd love to invite you to book a wellness consultation at bodyandbalancechiropractic.com. Together, we'll uncover what those signals really mean and how to shift from survival mode into healing. Until next time, take a deep breath, honor your body's wisdom, and remember, healing begins the moment you start listening.